a round of applause to Mr. Garret Robbins, a science teacher here at ASD. He will be presenting the talk, A Jack of All Trades, the World Needs More. Please welcome Mr. Robbins.
Thank you and good evening. How are all of you? Good. All right, a jack of all trades. If you are not American or from England, you may not have even heard that phrase. So first of all, what is it? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it is simply a person that can do passable work in any of a variety of tasks. Now, that may be something that you say, hey, that's a multitasker. Not necessarily, because a multitasker can do various different things at the same time. A jack of all trades, or somebody that, as we will discover, goes by some other different terms, is a type of person that can do various different things like music, art, math, science. They can write, they can perform, they can do various different things, including sports, including art, including philosophy, and any one of a number of academic fields. They are good at a number of things. But here's the problem. When we see the term jack of all trades, it usually is accompanied by a negative connotation. That negative connotation being a jack of all trades, a master of none. And that isn't actually true. Because a jack of all trades, although they may not be a master of any one particular trade, they are a master. But here's the deal. The term jack of all trades, when it was originally used at the beginning of the 1600s, was coined by a playwright named Robert Greene. Now, if you know your history, you know that Robert Greene was a British playwright based in London, and he was the premier playwright of the time up until a guy named William Shakespeare. And interestingly enough, he used the term jack of all trades in the first, at least according to most experts, the first known use of the term. He used it to describe none other than the guy who replaced him, William Shakespeare. And that's because William Shakespeare, when he was a young playwright, would work on the sets. He would work on the costumes. He was constantly memorizing lines and trying to direct. And so therefore, Robert Greene coined this term to say, hey, this guy can do everything, but he hasn't mastered anything. It was derogatory, but it ended up being somewhat of a compliment towards the person that we now consider the master of the English language. So, other terms for the same group of people. Other terms that we often pass over simply because we don't know them. Generalist, yes, great. We understand that this is somebody that can do a plethora of different things. As a teacher, if you can step in a music class and then turn around and step in a science class, you are a generalist. Many of our elementary teachers are fantastic generalists. Universal man, somebody who can do just about anything. Universal man or universal woman is a very 21st and 20th century term. Something that was coined at the very beginning of the Enlightenment period to describe people that would actually consider themselves the next term, polymath. A polymath is somebody who loves and is good at a variety of different areas. In fact, polymath is a very technical term that was used to describe people like Leonardo da Vinci, people like Gottfried Leibniz, and even outside of Europe, people like Ibn I'm probably saying this wrong, Ibn al-Hathani, I think. And other people across the world who are influential for their developments, not only in science, not only in mathematics, not only in literature, but also in the arts, music, and other areas. For instance, Leibniz, he's best known for his development of calculus. However, did you know that he helped elaborate upon the musical system that we understand as the 12 equal tone music system? Surprising, right? So a jack of all trades isn't necessarily a master of none, but more and better said, a master of many. A philomath, that sounds like something that's like you would bake with in math class. However, a philomath literally means a friend of learning. Somebody that loves learning. Somebody that loves learning new things and becomes good at a variety of different things. Polymaths and philomaths tend to be the same. However, philomaths become polymaths. And lastly, a term that many of us are familiar with, Renaissance men. And that is because we know literary characters that are Renaissance men. There are dramas about people who are good at everything. But that isn't necessarily what I'm here to talk to you about. I'm here to talk to you about who is, not just who is a jack of all trades, but how you can become one, and why the world needs jack of all trades. We don't just need scientists. We don't just need great businessmen and great politicians and great writers. We need people who can make connections between all of them. Because you see, a jack of all trades is a master of integration. They are somebody who can take not only the material of one particular field and integrate it with other fields, but they can also use that to create practical solutions for a number of different problems. They are the masters of problem solving. They are flexible and versatile. They, as a result of them being able to do a number of different things, they actually can create more interpersonal connections with a higher variety of people. If you are good at music, you understand the musician. If you are good at math, you understand the mathematician, and you understand the scientist. By being a jack of all trades, you are able to create a social network that is far more robust than somebody who isn't. And as a result, you are the person that others come to and say, hey, I need to meet such and such a person. You're like, yeah, all right, great. I can connect this artist with this scientist. And believe it or not, that is actually what our world needs. Textbooks, for example, need graphic designers. Graphic designers who don't just understand the graphic design, but who understand the science and can therefore describe it in an image. Engineers need people who can write, to write the instructions for any piece of equipment, any appliance, any car. That way, those of us who aren't as skilled or as versed in the engineering jargon can actually produce and understand what is being said. In addition, jacks of all trades are great mediators. They can take information that is way up here and teach it to those who haven't yet acquired that skill yet. And as a result, they are great mediators between those who have that skill set, who are the masters of any one particular field, and those who aren't as of yet. Lastly, they are great brainstormers. If you're in a sandbox, you can only play in the sandbox with the toys that you've been given. The more types of toys that you have in your sandbox, the better you are, the more types of play you can have. Jacks of all trades have so many different toys in their sandbox that they are great ideators and brainstormers. And lastly, on a more personal note, as a teacher, we are always worried about our students finding their niche, finding where they belong. Jacks of all trades go on journeys of self-exploration and are therefore more self-aware and can find where they belong a little bit better. Our world needs jacks of all trades to make connections between other people, the material, the skill sets, and themselves. Thank you very much.